Hey, my name is Seth Yolorda, and I'm a speaker, coach, and consultant, and I work with individuals and organizations, helping them gain clarity, build momentum, and achieve strategic results. And in today's episode, I want to address the 10 reasons why people fail. Now, if you are like me, you have had your fair share of failure. Everyone who has ever lived on the face of this planet has, at one point or another, experienced failure. And there are different levels and different types of failure. Let's be very clear. There are those failures where it was a learning, it was something that you grew in, like, for example, having a baby trying to walk and that baby stumbles. You and I would not look at that stumble as a failure. We would say, oh, the baby's learning how to walk. So there are some things that we experience that aren't quite necessarily failures, though in the moment they may feel like failures. They're really not failures, they're really learnings. But whether it's not something is in the learning category or in the true failure category is really determined by their response to what just happened. So you can have a baby who's trying to walk, and if they stumble and fall and they don't get up, then you could say, okay, something's wrong. That baby has embraced the stumble as an identity. They feel now as though they will be unable to ever walk again. They have failed at walking. But if that baby stumbles and falls and gets back up and stumbles and falls and gets back up, we would not look at that as a failure. We would say, oh, the baby is learning, and they may have made some mistakes along the way. But failure almost implies that you have decided that you are no longer going to attempt to try. And that's what I want to really capture today is, what are the 10 reasons why someone would give up? Not someone would make a mistake and get back up and try again, but what are the 10 reasons why someone would actually give up, throw in the towel, and no longer try? Now, I'm going to give them to you, and we're going to break them down one by one. The first one is a lack of a well-defined purpose. That without a clear goal and without a clear purpose, individuals will lack direction and focus, and this will lead them to aimlessness and failure. That if you don't know exactly what you're going after and you're not extremely clear on what your goal is, then when you don't succeed at it, you will throw in the towel and you will stop. But if you are laser focused in on what you're trying to achieve and what you're going after, and not just the what you're trying to achieve, but also the why you're trying to achieve it, if you have extreme clarity around the what and the why, it will inevitably serve as a catalyst, have a catalyzing effect on you to cause you to get back up and to keep on trying. If you have thrown in the towel, it may be because you lack a well-defined purpose. Maybe you're just in it for the money. Maybe you're just in it for the likes and the gram, for the fame and for the fortune. But that reason is not compelling enough. That reason is not deep enough. It is a superficial goal that you're after. It's transactional. It's not transformational. And so the first reason why people often experience failure is because they lack a well-defined purpose. The second reason is because of a lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. All this means is that you're settling for average results and lacking the drive to excel. This can prevent you from success. So you're just kind of going through the motions. This was something that I often wrestled with when I was going through middle school. My mom would always tell me, Seth, you have so much more ability to get better grades than what you're currently getting. I was like that C+, B- student in middle school. And my mom would be like, Seth, you have the ability to be an A student. You're just not even trying. Like, clearly, I was not aiming for anything above mediocrity. And I'm glad that I grew out of that phase. But that's a reality for so many people, where the reason why you have decided to quit on the goal is because you weren't aiming for anything above mediocrity. I experienced this in a real sense in my own fitness and weight loss journey, where for a long time I was like, yeah, I just want to be in shape. And so I was going to the gym casually, not really going to the gym intentionally. Yes, I went regularly. My workouts weren't focused. My diet wasn't dialed in. And so as a result, I rarely saw gains and I often would quit. But it wasn't until I said, you know what, Seth, I'm going to go for trying to get on stage as a fitness model, an amateur fitness model, like a bodybuilder. And I actually set that as my goal. Now, did I actually want to get on stage? Not really. But when I told myself, I wonder if I can get in the best shape good enough that would get me on stage as an amateur bodybuilder. Immediately, I saw my effort improve, my diet improved. I started really working out with intention and focus because I was no longer aiming for mediocrity. And so one reason why you might be failing or you might be experiencing failure is because your ambitions are too low. So number one is lack of a well-defined purpose. Number two is lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. The third reason is a negative mental attitude. A mindset filled with doubt, fear, shame, negativity will block progress and prevent success. And you know this all too well, that whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right, according to Henry Ford. And I think that quote stands true. That the individuals who actually have a negative bias, who feel like they're not going to be able to do it, they're not going to be able to achieve it, they won't ever accomplish their goal, you will actually live up to that and accomplish the very thing you have said that you would not be able to accomplish. The individuals who say to themselves that they can't do it, they won't achieve their goal, you will actually prove yourself right. And so a negative mental attitude is one of the reasons why so many people fail. If you don't think you're going to actually achieve your goal, you might want the goal, you might have clarity on the goal, you might be shooting for a big, ambitious goal, but if you never believe you're going to achieve it, it just won't happen. I was talking to a friend of mine who's also on a fitness goal, and they threw out a number that their doctor said that they should strive for, and they immediately said, I'll never be able to hit that. And when they said it to me, I said, why would you give away your power like that? If you don't believe you can't hit it, you won't hit it. But if you believe you can hit it, even if you never hit that goal, you'll get a lot closer than if you never would have tried. So a negative mental attitude, a mindset filled with doubt, fear, shame, guilt, negativity will do more to prevent you from achieving your goals and is one of the reasons why people experience failure. Everyone, I just want to take a minute and invite you to join the Accelerate Clarity Coaching Cohort. This is a coaching cohort designed for individuals who are serious about crushing their goals, and they recognize they need to be a part of a community that will hold them accountable and that will support them as they accelerate towards their future self. If that's you, I want you to go to visionclarityconsulting.com/accelerate. You get all the information there. We meet twice a week. We have hot seats. We have quarterly masterminds. This is designed for individuals who want to take serious the call on their life. And so if that's you, jump over to that website. I'll put the link below. You can learn all about it. This is a 12-month process. It's a 12-month coaching cohort where we are going to make sure that you reach your goals, whatever your goals would be: financial, fitness, your faith, spiritual goals, professional goals, personal goals, whatever your goals will be. These are for individuals who say, you know what? I need community. I need support. I want to make sure I'm not doing this thing alone. I want you to check out visionclarityconsulting.com/accelerate. I'll see you there. Peace. The fourth reason is lack of self-discipline. Success requires self-control. It requires consistency. It requires the ability to resist distractions and temptations. You have to be locked in. You have to have discipline. And you may feel like, well, I'm just an undisciplined person. Well, that's why you need a coach. That's why you need a community. That's why you need to engineer discipline around you so that no matter what is happening with inside of you, you have placed with around you the safeguards and the guardrails to ensure that no matter what, you're going to stay on track. So if you feel like you sincerely lack self-discipline, and that has been the reason why you have not experienced success, but have experienced failure, you've stopped, you've given up because you just not have the discipline to pursue through the tough times and the difficult conversations and the difficult work and the long nights, then you need to understand that that's something that you can actually change. You don't have to have a defeatist mindset and simply believe, well, because I'm not disciplined, therefore I won't ever be successful. No, you can engineer a community and a coaching support system around you to help fill the gaps where your discipline may lack. Now, ultimately, it has to become intrinsic, but until then, we can create systems around you. So the first reason is a lack of a well-defined purpose. The second reason is a lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. The third reason is a negative mental attitude. The fourth reason is lack of self-discipline. The fifth reason that people fail is lack of vision. Failing to see beyond the present circumstances and not setting long-term goals will hinder your progress. So it's not just what do I want to do right now, but why am I doing this? What's at the end? What's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? And if you don't have clarity of vision, or vision clarity, pun intended, it will be very hard for you to ever experience success, because failure is baked in to the success journey. What do I mean? I'm not saying that giving up failure is baked into the success journey, but learning failure. For example, you will fall as you're learning how to walk. It is baked in. Whenever you are trying to go for a goal that you never achieved before, it's going to require you to come out of your comfort zone, to stretch, to do things you've never done before. And so you will inevitably fail, but those failures don't have to be the end of the road. Those failures can be learning. And when you have a very clear vision of where you're going, then those failures just become stepping stones on your way to accomplishing your big vision. So if you lack vision, it'll be very hard for you to be successful. So what is the vision for your life? What's the vision for your family? What's the vision for your job? What's the vision for your organization? There's an old saying, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. Why? Because if you don't have clear vision, if you don't have a clear shot, you will miss your target every time. The sixth reason why people often fail is the use of race or circumstances as an excuse to not take action. And as a black man, I want to say that again for the people sitting in the back. The use of race or circumstances as an excuse to not take action. Your gender and your color, your ethnicity, your background, your education, your family of origin, they may be contributing factors to why you have not experienced success, but they are not determining factors for why you have not experienced success. Using external factors as reasons for not succeeding rather than focusing on solutions and personal growth will guarantee you will fail every time. When you use your race and circumstances and gender and ethnicity and all of those things, you are essentially playing the victim role. Now, I can acknowledge that, yeah, it's been harder for our black and brown community. I can acknowledge that, yes, it's been harder for women in corporate America. I can acknowledge that it's been harder for certain ethnicities and genders to climb the ladder, but I refuse to play the victim. I refuse to give my power to circumstances beyond my control. Yeah, they might be contributing to some things that I'm experiencing, but they are not a determining factor. Whether or not you succeed or fail has nothing to do with external circumstances. It has everything to do with your internal determination to persevere in spite of those circumstances. I can read to you a long list of men and women of color and minorities who have succeeded in the face of opposition. So one reason why people fail is because they are using other people, they're playing the victim, and they're using external circumstances for why they have not yet achieved the success they want. They're waiting for someone else to come and save them. And in the good words of Mel Robbins, no one's coming to save you. So you cannot use your race, circumstances, gender as an excuse to not take action. Number 7, lack of connection to infinite intelligence. A failure to tap into creativity, intuition, and a higher sense of purpose. You have to recognize that you are an infinite being, not in the sense that you are immortal, but you are connected to the infinite. You are connected to the Creator. As believers of the Most High, we are connected to an infinite being, and His infinite vastness of creativity and intuition and ingenuity flows down to us and through us. We are a well of ideas, and individuals who fail, they basically get into a fixed mindset. They feel as though it has to be this way, and there's no possible way I can succeed outside of this fixed box. And what I want to tell you is that no. I want you to embrace a growth mindset. I want you to understand that you can succeed in spite of these challenges, in spite of what you're going through, but you have to be willing to tap into your creative intuition and into a higher sense of purpose and being. Number 8, another reason, which is sensitive, I know, for why people fail is ill health. Neglecting physical well-being can sap your energy and vitality, which are essential for success. You have to maintain your energy. Why do you eat healthy? Because your future is dependent upon it. Why do you cut sugar out of your diet? Why do you cut sugary drinks out of your diet? Why do you not eat tons of processed food? Because your future self depends on it. And every time you push away the desserts and every time you push away the unhealthy behavior and the unhealthy consumption, your future self smiles down and says, thank you. Because ill health will prevent you from success. I'll just tell you, last week, I was visiting my parents. They live in Kansas City. And I was visiting my parents and we went to a restaurant for breakfast. My mom and I, we ordered the exact same meal. For some reason, mine wasn't as good as hers because within 30 minutes, your boy had food poisoning on the toilet for like 3 days. And I had to fly back home to Southern California on the plane, feeling like I was going to throw up with chills and just sweating. It was horrible. For those 2-3 days, I could do nothing at all. Laid up in bed, didn't want to talk, wanted to stay under the covers, didn't want to work, didn't want to record any episodes, didn't want to work on my book, didn't want to work on my PhD, did not want to do anything because of ill health. It's so funny because after I got better, I said to myself, man, I'm never eating in another restaurant again. Like, it was that serious. It was like, man, eating at this restaurant almost took me out. And on some level, that is the reality that many of us face, is that your health is preventing you from success. So don't become healthy because, the doctor says this and your family says that. No. Do it because your success depends on it. Now, someone's watching and says, well, I've been successful in my current state of health. Yeah, the gods have been in your favor. But the older you get slower, the bones get more brittle and fragile. You can't rebound as quickly as you used to. I want to make an appeal to you that if you're wrestling with health, please do everything in your power. And there's enough medication, whether it's Ozempic or all natural, there's so many resources out there. We're not going to play victim. There's so many resources out there which are available to you in order for you to take control of your health. I want you to do that. Number 9 reason why people fail is lack of persistence. Giving up at the first sign of defeat prevents individuals from reaching their full potential. I'm guilty of it. I'm sure you're guilty of it. We've all had times where we just like, you know what, I'm just tired. I just don't want to do it anymore. I'm giving up. I'm tired. We've all been there. And what I want to encourage you to do is to put your big boy pants on, put your big girl pants on, and be persistent towards the vision that God has given you for your life. Anything worth having is worth fighting for, and you have to be persistent in it. Last but not least, number 10. The 10th reason why people fail is the desire to get something for nothing. Expecting rewards without putting in the necessary effort leads to disappointment and stagnation, which is very similar to number 9, the lack of persistence, but this is really almost like more sinister. This is like, I'm just trying to get by. Like, I want to get something for nothing. And this is a mindset that will be detrimental to your success. So as you are evaluating your own life throughout this episode, I want you to think, which one of these 10 items, and I'm going to list them in the show notes, which one of these 10 items speaks loudest to you? Because all of us are affected by one of these 10. All of us have experienced some level of failure. All of us have thrown in the towel. We've given up on some things. And so all of us have been there. And so what I want you to do is I want you to evaluate which one of these 10 really speaks to you. And then what can you do to begin to build a plan of action so that this item on this list doesn't derail your plans anymore? These items actually came from the book Think and Grow Rich, A Black Man's Choice by Dennis Kimbro. I will list the book in the show notes below as well. Listen, I would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment, follow me on LinkedIn or on Instagram. And please, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Peace.